So this is me before starting the first book of Zodiac Academy. This is me at the end of the third book. What the actual heck? I feel like this series is going to ruin my life. He's not dying. Darius is going to show up. Darius is going to show up. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. It's fine. We have started Fated Throne. So when I finished Cursed Fates, I literally told myself I need a mental break. I just need to go into something light and fluffy or another book, something away from Zodiac Academy. Like, I am loving Zodiac. It's literally one of my top 3 favorite series, but I felt like I needed a break. That this has never happened to me before. I don't take breaks. I continue. Wow. After some self-care, like I actually straightened my hair and stuff. I probably should do it more often. It's so much more manageable. Anyway, after some self-care for one day, that was all I needed. I said to myself, you know what? Let's just read the first paragraph. And then that led to getting the audiobook, which the audiobook I ended up listening to at the gym, which led to 3 chapters. And now I'm on the 4th chapter. And what break? I don't need a break. I want to know what's happening with Tori. But my spidey senses are tingling and I feel a lot of heartbreak coming in this book. Like, we thought we had heartbreak. No, that was just like a toe dipping heartbreak. This, I feel like it's going to be full on, like, come at me. Just come on. The hairs are also cute. They're helping Darcy. Darcy has made them Phoenix Fire plated weapons and they're going on these hunts to find the Imperial Star, and when they get there, the nymphs are already there. They already know. So they're pretty much killing a whole bunch of nymphs at the same time. It's honestly pretty cool. They're like this cool group. And Seth has been staying in Darcy's bed to comfort her. He's so cute. I'm actually really loving Seth. I really do like his personality. He was an absolute jerk at the start. They all were, but like, I'm loving Seth. Seth has a crush on Caleb. Now, I don't know how that's gonna go. And surprisingly, Xavier is also back in Zodiac Academy. Not back. Xavier is in Zodiac Academy, and him and Sophie are doing those eyes. This is where the heartbreak comes in. Tori is actually going back to Zodiac Academy, but Tori is not Tori. Tori is hidden deep down inside beneath the surface. She has no memory of Darcy. Like, she doesn't know who Darcy is. She knows Darius, but doesn't know her and Darius everything. Just knows the bad things that Darius done. She's been having like these little motions and memories and stuff, but she has no idea what they are. She can hear them talking, but then the shadows take over. So she's trying to work out what they're saying. But Darius is like, I promised you forever. I love you. I'm not giving up on you, and I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna get you out of those shadows. My boy, our boy, we can have the same boyfriend. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. We love a man that stays by his word. But the fact that Tori craves Lionel because of the bond, ugh. And her and Clara keep competing against each other. They're like, they want to be the best for Lionel. Like, that just grosses me out so much. I just, oh. And she's got a picture on her phone as her background image, and it's Lionel topless. And she's like, his like abs are on display, and I'm just like, no. When I think of Lionel, I think of like a wrinkly old man. Just no. Anyway, I'm going to keep continuing. We're going to find out things, and pretty much Darcy, the goal is to find the Imperial Star and to save Tori. To save Tori, Darcy wants to try burn the shadows from her like she done with herself. She's been practicing on Darius. but it's not going too well. What in the world is going on? How are we at chapter 10 and so much has happened? This is going to be the death of me. Like, Lionel is now king. King. He is king. He doesn't have the Imperial Star, but no, he's king. Yeah. And Tori, like, wraps her arms around his neck, kisses him on the cheek. Ah, man, I cannot wait for them to save her, like bring her back. So Queen Vega actually seen this coming, and she's seen that the twins is the only hope for Solaria. Now, it is a puzzle. There's a group of them who, what were they called? I can't remember what they're called. They're called the Zodiac, I think it's Zodiac Guild or something like that. But they were under the king and queen, and they know about the Imperial Star. So pretty much Astrum was the leader and he gave it to this guy, but that guy has died. So when that guy died, the Imperial Star then moved on to Lance's dad. Oh, and just to top it off, right? So Lance is in jail. Gabriel sent him a letter of things to do in a specific order. And he found this guy called Jasper, an old man who was a part of the Zodiac Guild. And he knows all this information, but he couldn't quite give all the information. He specifically said that in order for the Vega twins to, you know, rule Solaria and save the world, they had to make a huge sacrifice, and each one of them in this like Zodiac Guild pretty much promised that they will die when their fate is done and they've done what they need to do. So Jasper's last mission was to find Lance. He has been in Darkmoor for years waiting for Lance to go there because he knew that Lance was going to be in there. And he has now done his last deed. As soon as he told Lance the password to his dad's journal, he stabbed himself. And he died, because that is what the fate was going to be. And he knew that, they all knew that. They all sacrificed themselves in hopes that the Vega twins in the future can save Solaria. Like, it is such a whirlwind. It is it's like they are in a play and there's this story happening and they have no freaking idea what the story is or where it's going or what their, you know, position is. It's crazy. So I'm not sure if I've said this before, but Lance actually seen his father die. And when he opened the diary with the password, there's a letter in it and it literally explains everything. He is dead, but the death that Lance saw when I think he went up in flames or something like that, it was fake. That was for his mum to find out, and his dad apologized and said, "I'm so sorry, you weren't meant to see that. That was not for you." And he also mentioned that Queen Vega seen something was going to happen to Clara, and Lance is the only one that can save her. Like, what the heck? What the heck? And then pretty much to top it off, yes, to top it off, Lance is out of Darkmoor now, but he's on house arrest. Who got him out and who is he on house arrest with? Lionel, because Lionel has a seer, and that seer saying that Lance has the diary and he's the key to finding the Imperial Star. This man is always, I swear, like 2 steps ahead. I cannot wait for them to get rid of him. Please. I cannot wait for Darius to like chop Lionel's head off. Like, please. I hope that happens at the end of this book. I also hope, because Lance is going to be at Lionel's house and Lionel has said that he'll get a chance to see his sister every now and then, I really hope that this is where he saves her. Like, I hope this is the book. I have a feeling they're going to be saving Clara before Tori. It's just in my bones, honestly, that's gonna happen. And the other thing that Queen Vega also said was Lance will know the right time to save Clara. So I honestly reckon in this book, Clara's going to be saved. I don't know if Lance is going to escape the home arrest or house arrest. Only if Darcy can take over the throne or Darius somehow challenges Lionel and wins. I think that's the only way for him to get out of house arrest. I'm so nervous. Excuse me, but why is Lionel talking about putting babies inside Tori? He said to Darius, he was going to force Darius to do it. He was going to force Darius to do it until Darius reminded him that the stars won't allow that. He said something about like how there's no male phoenix for her. So she's going to have to crossbreed, and he's going to make an exemption because of the new rules that he's created. And he's decided to crossbreed her with a dragon because they're both powerful. So he said to Darius, "You're right. I suppose if I decide to follow through with that idea, I'll have to put the bastards in her myself." And then Clara got jealous and launched at her. At Tori. What is going on? What is going on? I feel like this book is like the most messed up book yet. And I'm at the start. I'm like 200 pages in. Guys, Lionel just beat the shit out of Xavier, and he's told Tori to go heal him. And he's like, "Do you truly remember nothing?" And she's like, "About what?" And he's like, "Us." She's like, "I remember." And then he's seen shadows like fill her eyes, and she winced a little as she stood again looking down at Darius. And she's like, "I remember all the reasons I have to hate you, and you're just lucky my king doesn't want you dead, or I'd make sure you were." And then he's just like, "You don't hate me, Roxy." And then she replies, "No, I don't hate you. I don't care about you at all." Like, okay, guys, we know this is not Tori. This is the shadows speaking. This is Shadow Tori. We know that. So there is hope. And when she finds out, if she finds out all the shit that she said to Darius, she's going to feel so freaking bad. And Darius is going to save her. Like, it's inevitable. Like, he's gonna save her. So amazing. So they've locked Darcy in a cage where she can't hurt anyone. She can't use her shadows. If she tries and push her shadows through the cage, then it rebels. Like, what's that word? Ricocheted. It will ricochet back to her and cause her the pain. So she keeps doing that. She's not learning a lesson. Darius is left because it was making things worse. And she was just talking to Caleb. She was trying to sweet talk Caleb into letting her out, and he's like, "No, you're not going anywhere. You're not yourself." And then she has this memory where Lionel has gotten her to believe that Darius was the one cutting her flesh open with metal instruments and stuff. This man. Tori has her phoenix back, but she is still scared of Darius. So Max is with her, helping her shift through all the emotions and memories and everything. Guys, Lionel is sick. Like, this man gets off on just anything, I swear. It has taken 5 hours so far for Max to shift through like memories and emotions, and he's nowhere near finished. But he can see what happens to her under Lionel, and he's like, Lionel had done a damn good job of forcing her to associate every moment of torture he'd inflicted upon her with a memory of Darius. He hadn't just cut, burned, or electrocuted Tori until she couldn't even scream anymore. He reveled in it. This man is sick. He was taking her down under the manor, and they're the screams that Darius could hear her screaming, but like every time he woke up, she stopped. He was freaking torturing her this whole bloody time. I have no words on Lionel. Like, Lionel is sick. He's freaking what the fuck sick. But she had so many dark coercion spells under her. She burned them all away. Well, she didn't mean to, but she burnt them all away. She knows that she was missing Tori, but now she remembers why, and she feels whole again seeing Tori. But she's still scared of Darius, and it's because of Lionel. So hopefully Tori goes back to normal after Max is finished with her. She still has the bond with Lionel, but ugh. I cannot believe this. I literally called this in the last book, and that was that Lionel has been using dark coercion on the Savage King, and he actually wasn't savage. Lionel literally dark coercioned him to kill or murder the whole freaking town. I literally thought it as soon as Catalina said in Cursed Fates that Lionel rules everybody, and Tori was like, no, he doesn't rule me, and she's like, he rules everybody. And then he knew in his mind that that was not him, and he's like, what is happening to me? He asked the stars, he used the Imperial style, asked the stars, what is happening to me? I know that's not me. Why am I making these decisions? Like, what's going on? They couldn't tell him exactly. Like, it was a riddle. And they said to him, I lie in the palace of flames, where the ground is deep and the dead are old, where the last of them lie. Only there shall you find peace. I feel like because the girl's palace is called Palace of Souls, I feel like Palace of Flames is Lionel's house, because the whole family is like flames. And then where the ground is deep and the dead are old, where the last of them lie. I know that he has like an under tunnel. Is it like a tunnel? It's like an underground area where he like tortures Tori. Well, he tortured Tori. So I feel like it's something to do with there that's pointing towards Lionel. And then the Savage King was like, what does that mean? Please let this madness stop. And then they're like, keep the broken promise. And he said, give me my mind back. No more shall die at my hands. And they're like, it is not your hands. So they couldn't directly say who it was, what was happening. Just a whole bunch of riddles. Everything's Lionel. This guy. The other thing was, he reckons that he's seen like this ancient library or something like that. And pretty much they want to find it. And Darius ended up speaking out saying, so you want to go execute all these other orders because of blah 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 blah. Lionel picked up his steak knife and stabbed Darius in the gut in front of everyone, just casually, and then locked Orion away so he couldn't heal him. Yep. Oh, as well as torturing him with the shadows at the same time. That he was literally. But the good news with that is, I mean, Tori's got to pretend that she's still in the shadows. She has no idea what's going on and she remembers nothing. And she thinks that Darius is this big bad wolf. She had to stay back and fight the urge to help him. And she found it really sad. And that was like the first moment that we really seen that she felt something towards Darius, and that Max's healing has helped. So that is exciting. But the roles are reversed. Darcy won't give anything to Orion now. Tori's like, you need to give him a chance. And she's like, no. He made his bedding. That's that. Whereas at the start, Darcy was saying to Tori, you need to give Darius a chance. And she's like, no. And now she's giving him a chance. Like, the roles have flipped. So it makes me think, is there hope for Darcy and Orion? I really did like them together, so I hope so. Or is she going to end up with Seth? But Seth has a crush on Caleb. But Caleb is straight, as far as we know. So who else can she be with? I'm not sure. So pretty much after the girl seeing that vision as well, they're on a hunt to kill Lionel and to work it out. So we're at page 329. There's 14 hours and 20 minutes left of the book. And I'm gonna go read it. And yeah. Catalina is free from the palace, free from Lionel, free from her old life. Gabriel, he's seen this was going to happen, and he's literally like, oh, I'm right on time. I'm not 5 minutes late. This man, I know he's a C, I know he sees anything and everything, but like, it's just like, what the actual heck? Anyway, on good news though, Darius and Tori, they went out on an actual date. They went on a date to the mortal realm because Darius remembered that Lance was saying when he went to the mortal realm to fetch the Vega twins, he couldn't feel the bond as much. So he took Tori to the mortal realm, went on a date. Oh my god, it was so good. I fell asleep happy. It was great. Seth and Caleb, I wasn't sure if I was gonna vibe them, but they low-key suit each other. Like, what's going on? What's going on? But Caleb seen that Seth was into him, you know. If you know, you know. And he ran off. But they're so cute. We have found the Imperial Star. They have found the Imperial Star. We have found the Imperial Star. Guys, we just went through a whole bunch of emotions because we do with this book. We can't get anything, can we? But we have the Imperial Star now. So that was that. When they found the star, the star talks. It's a talking star, right? Yeah, it's a talking star. So they're holding the star, right? And this star tells them, like, hey, you're the new master of the Zodiac Guild. Orion's like, the new master of the guild? Holy fuck. This is what the star says. Vega princess, half of one whole, seek the palace in the deep, where the last of them lie. And then it says to Lance, son of my last keeper, do what the king could not. He asks, what couldn't he do? And it's like, do what the king could not. It just repeated itself and then it stopped talking and like... But guys, I have a feeling, you know what this means? Every single member of the Zodiac Guild who protected the Hale King and Queen, where are they? Dead. They had a legacy to die on a specific day to lead all these people to this moment to beat Lionel. So if Lance is now the new guild member, does he actually have like a fate date where he dies for helping the girls get the throne? Because that can't be. Like, I hope if he dies because his only mission is to help get the girls to have the throne, and then as soon as they get the throne he dies or something, Lord help me. I'm actually scared, you know. Also, how exciting. Clara went into Lance's bedroom and Clara actually came out to life. Like, she was there and she's like, Lance, help me. And he's like, Clara, is that really you? Her eyes changed color. Her eyes went back to like her brown colored eyes. The shadows disappeared from there. And she's like, Lance, it is me. I'm so sorry. This other person is not me. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, she was gone. The shadow Clara was back. And Lionel will not let Clara go down to Orion's room. I think Darcy stabbed herself, obviously by accident. She ended up letting out like an explosive phoenix fire and it pretty much was like a bomb. It went boom. And then she's like, my eyes were closing, there was darkness seeping in. You know, I knew there was blood everywhere. Orion's eyes were cleared of the shadows, but then they went to terror and he's mouthing my name, but I can't hear it. There's no way that a Vega twin's gonna die. There's absolutely no way. So much just happened in the last minute that, like, what? Like, Diego, was her name Drusella? I think it's Drusella. Pretty sure she died. It said she was like ash. Her clothes were burned from the blast bomb that Darcy set off. Clara ran out of the house so she didn't get burnt. Orion picked up Darcy and ran, like, shot out of the house. But right before that, Diego's dad, I don't think it was Alejandro. I think it was like, is it Mika or Micah? Something like that. He was like, quick, she's coming back, run. So you're telling me that because he wasn't controlled by Clara at that moment, he's not actually on Clara's side or Lionel's side? He's the good guy? He's a good guy like Diego? I thought Diego's family was all messed up. And then as Lance is carrying Darcy and running for the boundary to Stardust out of there, Clara is chasing him, comes next to him. Darcy blasts her again. She falls back and then she calls out, Lance, run. I can't stop her. You have to get out of here. Clara came to the surface again. What the shit? Oh, and then just to top it all off, you know where Orion Stardusted to? Gabriel's house. Why the fuck would he go to Gabriel's house unless something was really, really wrong with Darcy? Huh? You tell me that. Like, we know she probably stabbed herself. I'm guessing it was a stab. Or maybe she used too much magic. I don't know. Maybe I freaking don't know. Why are they at Gabriel's house? And then, the next chapter goes to Caleb. Caleb's not there. We don't know what's happening. I'm done. Okay, so I was annoyed at the fact that we jumped to Caleb, and I was like, why the frick are we going to Caleb for? And at the start, I was like, what the heck? This chapter is literally Caleb and Seth like flirting with each other, being like, do you want me? I want you. Do you want me? Just questioning it. Just get together already. But at the end, Caleb can hear something happening below the palace. And he's like, I have gone, you know, to the depths of this palace before, but this is like below. He's like, I've been to the basement. This is under. He can hear this guy like screaming. Now, if we remember what the stars specifically told, I'm pretty sure they told Darcy and maybe even Tori, and they also told Lance, is go to the palace where the, like below where the depths lie or something like that. Is this the area? So Seth, Xavier and Caleb are now like trying to find this underground secret space. Xavier also mentioned, what if it's Lionel down there? And he said it's not Lionel, like this is something different. This is a man screaming, and he's like, it's too easy for it to be Lionel, if that kind of made sense. So what could it be? If I have any guesses on who is down there, imagine if the king actually didn't die and he's been locked down there ever since. Did anyone see him die? That would be funny. It's got to be someone that they don't know, or like someone they don't see frequently. Or imagine if Astrom's death was an act this whole time and it was fate and he's actually down there. What a plot twist that would be. I literally feel like I just got like mumbo jumbo with a whole bunch of facts and things that were happening in like 10 minutes. And I'm trying to sort through it. I'm trying to sort through that information. So I'm going to be like referencing here because it was so much. But Darcy and Orion have Diego's hat, and it's really weak because she says Diego's name and then she feels like a hand pull her into like this fog, and then she comes out and she's somebody, like she's seeing a vision play out and she's the main character of that vision. And the main character of this vision, her name is Lavinia's new in this town, and pretty much there's like Lavinia, a person called Nisa, who's like teaching these people to wield shadows. It's like a tribe, like a nymph tribe. She's like a 14-year-old girl who wants to rule the shadow world pretty much. And then Nisa is like, you will be able to do it. She's like, you're only 14. In time, you will wield them better than anyone in our tribe. You're destined for greatness. And then her dad's like, don't tell her that, like she's just here to pretty much have babies and, you know, look after them. That's all they do in the tribe. And she's like, I don't want that, father. I will be a warrior. And then a few years had passed and Lavinia pretty much went and killed the whole tribe. Yeah. Her dad, her brothers, her siblings, friends, everything in that tribe dead. So do you see where we're going with this? Like, do you know who Lavinia is? Because I was like, excuse me, is this her? So in the second vision, Lavinia wanted to be queen, and it said the Fae were forced to surrender and the nymphs declared victory. So she was out there killing any Fae that tried to stop her. And then the vision changed again And in this vision, she was sitting on a throne made from the curving bough of a tree, placed at the top of a large hill with an ornate stone gazebo standing over it. And a man was escorted to her by nymphs. This man is a dragon master called Octavius Acrux. Someone obviously in the Acrux family. Who is Octavius? We don't know. We just know he's a part of the Acrux family. That's it. He's like, we want to offer you an alliance. I know you were seeking to claim the throne from the Vegas, but you haven't got the numbers behind you to face them. Uniting with the dragons would make us all strong enough to achieve it together. And she's like, can I trust you? And he's like, marry me and make a promise on the stars. Our families will be bound by the powers of the heavens, Acrux and Umbra. Pretty much it shows that they're going to have the Imperial Star, and he says the Vegas will fall, will claim the Palace of Flames and destroy the last of the Phoenixes. But Palace of Flames, I honestly thought the Palace of Flames was going to be the Acrux Manor that Lionel is in, but now it's got me thinking that I kind of feel like the things that the stars have told the girls previously about, you know, going to the Palace of Flames, blah blah blah, I think it's something to do with them and where they're going to be in the future, but they don't know that yet. It's crazy how this all like plays out, honestly. And then Lavinia asks us, how do we defeat the queen? And he says, I know of a dark curse that even her power cannot overcome. Once her army is defeated, you can use the power of the shadows to ensure we can destroy her at last. So flash forward to the battlefield. There's phoenixes flying everywhere, the nymphs and the dragons. Chaotic, right? And it says, Lavinia's gaze fell on the Phoenix Queen hovering above her army, her dark hair spinning around her in the breeze, her face fixed in a snarl. She wore a silver crown on her head, and in her hand was a huge sword which held the Imperial Star and had all the constellations of the sky etched into its surface. She held it up, speaking a word to it which I couldn't hear, but which made the air pulse with shockwaves of power. A dragon soared toward her, but a phoenix man swept past his queen to hold it off, fighting it with huge blasts of fire from his palms. And then the stars suddenly shone in the sky, glittering brightly down on the world as blood and chaos reigned. I panicked as a huge wave of power blasted out from the Imperial Star, sweeping over the entire battlefield. The nymphs fell prey to its power, crashed into the knees, and I fell too. A huge fissure opened up in the sky at the command of the Phoenix Queen, and the shadows started pouring into it from my army as the dark power was drawn from them, stolen away, and cast into an abscess. I screamed in anguish as the shadows were taken from me too. There will be no more war, the queen cried, and there shall be no more dark magic and no more shadows in our land ever again. From this day forward it is outlawed, and those who call upon it will face my wrath. Lavinia is like, no, we need the shadows to survive, we're not like your kind. And she's like, you'll find your way. The dragons left as well, betrayed Lavinia and the nymphs. Like, what? But like, hold on. Is Darcy's the queen? Because then Orion's like, Darcy, you're the queen. You're gonna be the queen. But what about Tori? I thought they were both gonna be queens. And like, what's with all these extra phoenixes flying around? Like, I thought phoenixes were rare and extinct. I have so many freaking questions. But we've got about 3 hours left on the book. We are 86% of the way through, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen. Like, is that the end game? And I'm pretty sure they're not going to put that as the end game, because then, like, why would they tell us now? They're not going to repeat the story. This book just puts you through it. I actually just realized I forgot to mention, but Lavinia is actually the Shadow Princess. That's who's inside Clara. Yeah. So we got to get her out. I look so tired. I am tired. It's 10 o'clock and I have an hour left of Fated Throne. It's kind of at a spot where I can't just stop. Like, every single book, you get to the probably about 15 chapters before it finishes, and it's just full on hectic everything because it's everyone's point of view. Gabriel and Darius are gone to like a jungle thing because Gabriel keeps having visions that one of the Vega twins is gonna die. So Darius can change the fate, but they've got to go to this thing. So we're waiting to see what Darius's fate is. And meanwhile, Lionel had stuck Lance and Darcy in the, what's it called? I don't know how to say the word, but it's like a Stone Age fighting ground, pretty much, where there's nymph cages and stuff, and they've let all these nymphs go to kill Darcy and Lance. Tori can't help because Clara's holding her down by the shadows, because Lionel found out that Tori is no longer under his control with the shadows. So everything's gone to shit, and I expected this. So Lance and Darcy did almost die. I love Seth. Like, Max ended up saving him, and then Orion came and healed him because he blacked out. And he's like, as Lance worked on me, I whirled my head around to lick his face, making him grunt in annoyance. Lance Orion came for me. He loves me like a pack mate. And Lance is like, this is only because Blue would hate me if I let you die. And then Seth is like, sure it is. And then he asks Lance to hop on his back and he will, you know, like, give him a ride. And Lance said no. And he's like, not in your lifetime, Mutt. And then Seth's like, there goes my future best friend. He cracks me up. He's actually hilarious. We all need a best friend like Seth. I freaking love it. They've got Geraldine's dad. They've got like the Sphinxes, Minotaurs, the Turbius rats, all these orders coming together to fight against Lionel and whoever is following him. And then obviously the hares, like the wolf pack from Zodiac Academy is also here. It's, oh, I just love it. Everyone's coming together. Everyone that we've been introduced to who is a friendly ally, they're all in here together in the amphitheater fighting. I just feel like it's not going to be a happy ending though, because they're hoping they'll be able to kill Lionel, but I just feel like it's not going to be a happy ending. Something is going to happen and I'm not going to like it. Caleb's up there trying to fight Lionel, but obviously Tori like is fighting Caleb because of the bond. And Lionel literally just said, now prove to them where you're true loyal to his life and kill him for me. Caleb looks worried, but is he leaving? No. Oh, and Xavier's up there too. I forgot. If Xavier dies, no. Darius has like this magic stone that's filled with ancient magic, and he's had to offer something for it to speak, so he's offered his blood. And it's like, the price of knowledge is power, the price of power is great. Every bargain has a cost. What will you trade for a different fate? He's now having images of Tori in his head, of them like being together, her saying, I love you, Darius. Oh my god, if he has to give up his love for Tori to save them, I will sue. I literally don't know what I'll do, but I will sue. The stone is actually showing visions. So the first vision it showed was Darius and Tori together, and it looks like she may have been pregnant. And then it's like the visions fell away, and then it's like, you wish for love with the girl who denied you, but fate has other designs in mind. And then there was a whole lot of other visions, one after another, some just flashes and others lasting longer, as I saw the people I love most in the world engaged in a battle at the amphitheater in the palace grounds. That's literally what's freaking happening right now. But wait, like, if Darius wasn't here, do you want to know what was going to happen? Because there's no doubt this is going to happen anymore. This is what was going to happen. My heartbeat thundered desperately as I saw each of the hares hurt or dying, Orion skewered on the prose of a nymph, Darcy screaming as Clara tore her apart with her teeth, and blood flowed hot and fast, too much for her to possibly survive losing. I saw my brother dashed against a stone wall with a blast of magic, and finally Roxy fighting to save my father's life against her will, only to have him stab her in the back the moment the fight was won. And then the stone asks, what would you give for them, Darius Acrox? What would you sacrifice to see them survive? I just... Oh, why is the answer going to be giving up his love for Tori? I don't even know if that is the answer, but I already want to cry. I don't ever want to keep going If that's how it's gonna end, it's gonna end like that. Like, oh my god. Okay. It's okay. It's fine. At least we know they're all not gonna die. The only thing I can picture is if Darius doesn't sacrifice something quick enough and maybe someone will still die. Probably Caleb. It better not be Xavier. Well, I have a feeling it's Caleb or Xavier and giving up his love for Tori. Okay, let's go. Prepare. That vision that we seen earlier of when we met Lavinia and the war with the Queen and Phoenixes, that's not a future vision. That's actually what happened to Lavinia years ago. Like, she's literally telling Darcy now, and she's like, I'm going to do to you what I wanted to do to her. I spent so long learning this spell and I never got a chance to curse her like I wanted. The spell that she's doing, she needed Lance's blood, and she's like, I'm going to put a little fun twist on it too. It's going to be so much fun to watch you both break when you find out what it is. I'm going to make sure you live long enough to see me rise. Daddy will be mad and I am to be his queen. And maybe it's time I started making my own rules. She wouldn't be transferring into Darcy's body. Darcy's got a mark on her bicep and it's turned black. And there's nothing she can do to stop it. Her Phoenix Fire is, nothing's working. Oh my god, Clara has come out and we can see like what is happening, what happened that night. Everything's happening. Clara's been trying to tell Lance that he needs to kill her. Like, he can't save Clara. She's like, I'm dead, Lance. You need to kill her. As soon as Clara went down in that portal into the Shadow Realm, Lavina took over her body and literally like cut Clara's body open so the blood all poured out and replaced it with shadows. And the real Clara is like, I was dead the moment she found me. My soul is trapped, unable to join the stars, and if you don't destroy her, I'll never be free. Please, Lance, please do this for me. He's got to kill his own sister. It's not technically... He's literally just stabbed Clara's body. And like, she's dying. Even her soul, she's actually full on dying, and she's just like, thank you. I feel so sorry for Lance. Stop, this is so sad. Oh my god. Like, exchanging words and saying that they love each other, and she's just like, thank you for freeing me. Now I can go up to the stars, like I can be dead in peace. Oh my god. It didn't kill the Shadow Princess. Lavina's still alive. She's actually in her original form now. You know, at the end of the whole Clara dying, like re-dying thing, Lance was like, I hope she can meet Dad up there and they're gonna wait for me to join them one day. I'm like, just stop. I'm not going back to Darius. Am I prepared for Darius's chapter? I don't know. The stone has said, the life of Fae means little to the stars. Fate changes. Destiny isn't always set in stone. The gift on offer isn't life. It's freedom, a chance, a possibility to change the stars again. 1 year. To love her like you ache to be the best of yourself. 1 year and no more. They will break the bonds between Tori and Darius if he sacrifices and only lives for 1 year. That is so messed up, because it's literally showing him like how it would play out, and they're very, very, very happy for the year, and then and then literally on Christmas Day they're by the tree kissing, and he falls to the ground and dies. There's no way. No, he's not accepting this. There's another way. There's definitely another way. No tears. I'm not crying over that. It doesn't exist.
2 seconds later.
There's just no, oh my god. He literally accepted it. These books, I feel like are pretty much, like one book goes for a year. So that means like the end of the next book is when he's supposed to die? No, no, that's not happening. It's not happening. Oh my god. But it drops all bonds. It's a fresh start. It drops all the bonds. So it saves Tori's life at the moment. Like Lionel isn't gonna have a chance to kill her now. This is fucked up. This is actually fucked up. Tori's literally fighting Lionel, but I can't concentrate because Darius's words are embedded in my brain. And I just keep crying over them. I just like, oh, I can't get past it. Oh my god, we're nearly finished. Like, I just gotta get through this. And Tori's literally burnt Lionel's hand off. Oh my gosh. Tori's free from the shadows. She's blasted the shadows. And now Darcy and Tori are running to each other. Tori's realised that obviously she's not bonded to Lionel anymore, but that's all she knows. She hasn't questioned why, how, anything. Darcy has literally looked at Tori confused, and she's like, confusion rushed through me as I found her eyes clear, bright and green, the black star-crossed ring around them gone. And like, they can't talk about it because they're in the middle of a freaking war right now. Oh my god. Tori was like, where's Darius? And Seth was like, he went with Gabriel somewhere. They've called a retreat out because Lavinia has literally taken over the whole amphitheater of shadows. And Orion had literally just said, what has Darius done? As he looked forward to show that his left arm no longer had the Leo mark where the bond was. Why? I thought it was like all bonds for Tori and like their bond for each other. I didn't think it was gonna be the bond between him and Lance. Oh my god, this makes me want to cry again because they don't know. He literally gave up his life for this girl to live. Oh my god. What? So we have the Hares, Geraldine, the twins, Orion, Xavier and Dante. They escaped together. They've stardusted away from Lionel and the dragons. They're safe, but this is literally how it finishes. Tears blurred my vision for everyone lost today, and as we soared into the endless blue sky, I didn't know where we were going, only that we couldn't go back to Zodiac Academy. We couldn't go anywhere that Lionel would find us. The Hares had stood against him, we'd all shown our cards, and the Dragon King would have every loyal fae and nymph in Solaria hunting for us by nightfall. We're all fugitives now, and if any of us were ever caught, their price would be death. I'm still stuck on the whole Darius thing. Oh, what? I didn't expect to cry in this book. Okay, at least he didn't have to sacrifice his love for Tori, but I still kind of feel like he has in a way. more like his life. He so loves his life. The best thing that has come out of the ending is Lionel losing a hand. That shit's funny. Okay, Fated Throne, 5 stars. I don't think it deserves 5 stars after ripping my heart out, but if I ignore that, it's 5 stars. So we'll just go with that. So book 7 is Heartless Sky. It's got, I think it said 719 pages, so it's a little bit shorter than Fated Throne. I don't know how to feel about this one, honestly. I am scared for Darius's life. I feel like him and Tori are gonna have such a good time that my heart's just gonna get absolutely ripped at the end. Like, anything else could happen. Other people could die. I don't care. Just don't take Darius. What has he done? Honestly, what has he done? I'm gonna go to bed now, and I'm probably gonna go cry myself to sleep, and I'll see you whenever I start it. Okay, so I have actually started Heartless Sky, and even though the last book finished on such like a emotional roller coaster with so many things happening, I'm currently on chapter 6 and I haven't really felt the need to read it. I honestly, like, where I'm at now, after the first couple of chapters, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't have an urgency to read it. So I've just been taking my time. To be honest, 6 chapters in, there's honestly not that much to update on. Like, everybody has gone to this house that I'm guessing no one's gonna find. It's like the rebellion house. Everyone that fought against Lionel has gone to this house. It's like enchanted, like Hermione's bag where she puts an enchantment and it just goes on forever. That's what this farmhouse is. And there's certain like spells and stuff for anyone who doesn't trust the Vegas or follow the Vegas. They can't be let in the house pretty much. So it's crazy. Lance is still power shamed, right? Every single person is ignoring him. Seth thinks it's hilarious. Darcy is yelling at everyone saying nobody ignore Lance from now on. And Geraldine's dad, oh my god, every time he was trying to talk to Lance, he kept like doing the vomiting sound. I was just like, this guy, I feel so sorry for Lance. I hope he gets accepted again. It will probably be when Darcy is obviously queen, or even Tori. Pretty much Darcy and Lance are back together, and Lance was like, does this mean we're back together, Blue? And she's like, I don't think we were ever apart, Lance. And Darius and Tori have been catching up in bed as well a lot. That's pretty much all that's going on. And we actually got a Lionel point of view chapter, and he didn't really know that wasn't really Clara. He didn't know that the Shadow Princess was actually using her body as a vessel. So now that the Shadow Princess is there, and holy shit, she's like got some balls against Lionel. She does not give 2 fucks about Lionel. And he's like, I need to somehow get her to be under my wing, not the other way around. So that's very interesting. Pretty much he's hunting every single person that fought against him. And I mean, I feel like there's going to be a big war at the end. But also, Darius's death is meant to be at the end of the book. Maybe that's part of the reason why I just don't want to read it, because the closer I get to the end of the book, the closer it is to his so-called death. I do have one theory though. I don't think Darius is going to die. Or if he dies, he's going to come back to life. Now, this is a bit far stretched, right? But I'm guessing by the end of the book, they're going to know how to use the Imperial Star. Or Darius dies and then they find out how to use the Imperial Star and get it to bring him back to life. But we haven't had any actual brought back to life situations yet. Clara, it was just Clara's soul. So depending if it's just going to be Darius's soul in a vessel, I don't know. It could be. But I just don't think Darius is actually going to die. And I think the Imperial Star is the answer to that. So yeah, I haven't honestly had much to update on this, but I have been listening to the audio more instead of reading it lately, because chapter 9 and chapter 10, it says that they both go for an hour and a half each. So this book is shorter in pages, but the chapters are so freaking long. I'll be back at some stage with an update. Not too sure when something interesting happens, because honestly, like, nothing's happening at the moment. It's probably like the least that's ever happened in the whole series so far. I think I'm about like 200 pages into Heartless Sky, and still like a lot of nothing has happened. It's still like Lance and Darcy making up time, Darius and Tori making up time. There's not much happening. So the only real thing that has recently happened is they all went into Diego's hat, and Diego showed them the truth. So pretty much as a boy, we have found out what really happened, and Diego's family were behind everything. Since book 1. I know we found out earlier that he was spying on the Vega twins and had to report back to his family, which he never done it. And we actually found out that if he didn't bring the Vegas into his family and into Lionel, his uncle was going to kill him. And then he asked for a way out, and the stars let him find a way out of the situation. But his mum and uncle killed Falling Star. They were the nymphs in the school. They were doing all the nymph attacks. Like, what? It's just this story, it's like all starting to piece together and make sense and filling these missing gaps. But like, as it's happening, it's still like, what the heck? Darcy wants kids, not yet, but she wants kids. But Lance doesn't want to give her kids because then her kids will also be power shamed. And he's like, she's got to think of her hairs. She's going to have to be with someone else, and I'm just going to be in the distance, be in a shadow. No, Lance. And he's like, it doesn't matter what Darcy says. If she makes it by law that he's going to be accepted, like, it still doesn't change, and it won't change for his kids. Lance, so you're telling me that you're just going to be a background character now? Like, you can't be. Like, he is a part of the Zodiac Guild. He's literally the new master. You can't be in the background. The other crazy thing though is Darius hasn't told anybody what he sacrificed. Like, no one has asked yet. Isn't that a bit weird? Unless I've missed it, but I'm pretty sure I would remember that, honestly. So no one knows he's gonna die. And every time I read a chapter from him, or like Tori having fun with him, I just die a little inside, and I cry my day away. And so sad. Like, for example, Lance said to Darius, can you work with the Vega girls and you both have the throne together? And Darius is like, no, I've trained my whole life for this. But if I die, I would save you to take my spot. But how has Lance not questioned it yet? That's what I don't get. Like, no one has their bonds. So why aren't they questioning it yet? Maybe it's only been a couple of days and that's why. Maybe, like, I think I'm literally 20% in, but maybe it's only been like 2 days in the book. I don't know. My hair looks black. It's not. Okay. It has been a little while since I've updated, but purely because not a lot genuinely happened until the last 10%. So right now we are up to 60% into Heartless Sky, and I feel like all of a sudden there's just been this huge drop of events happening, one like back to back to back. I don't even know where to start, honestly. We have got the team to find some gemstones that are really rare. No one knows where they are. The old Zodiac Guild, we're looking for them, and there's only, I think there's 6 that are found, or 3 that are found. It's either 3 or 6. So they're going to find the rest. we have got, still no one knows about Darius and what he done to save everyone. Essentially, no one still knows. He's dropped hints, for example, like the Vega twins are I can't remember where they are, but they're like somewhere looking for answers on how to break Darcy's bond, because apparently they're the only way to have it happen. And they've gone and they've seen like an ancestor who is the same ancestor who banished Lavinia. Like, everything is so interconnected and it's so like twisty turny, and we keep getting all this information. I'm like, whoa, hold up. They're gone for possibly a couple of months, a few months, and he was like, what? Tori's gone? No, she can't go. And then Lance is like, why? Like, I was away from Darcy for a few months. And he's like, I don't have the time. And he's like, what do you mean you don't have the time? And then Darius is just like, oh, like, I'll miss her. And Lance is like, yeah, I'll miss Darcy too, so what's the issue? Like, he's just not full on saying it. It's going to be devastating when the end of the book comes, because we're 60% in. Christmas is nearly here in the book. There's literally, I think, like 3 months or something left until Christmas, and obviously nothing's been done yet. So I'm a bit scared, because I was expecting this whole book for them to be chasing a way to make sure Darius doesn't die, but Darius has made it his mission to not tell anybody what he'd done, because he doesn't want them to fix it. So we're gonna lose him, I guess. We better not. Oh, and then the other thing is Lavinia. She's a bit next level, and she pretty much forced herself on Lionel, forced him to marry her as soon as they got married, like quite literally. I'm talking seconds. She killed Jenkins, ate Jenkins, forced Lionel to marry her. As soon as he declared it to the stars, pushed him on the bed, you know, had done stuff to him. She also forced him to do other things to himself, which I will not name. I was like gobsmacked. I was like, what is going on? And then forced him to impregnate her, kind of half force actually, because it was a bit like he wanted a hair, but I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into. He impregnated her, and within seconds a demon pops out of her, quite literally. She moves away from the bed, opens her legs, and yeah, and it comes out, and guess what? It's like, hello daddy. Like, oh, it's cringe. So yeah, that's pretty much where I left off. Oh, and actually no, I've left off in a nymph war, another war. There's a lot of nymph wars and nymph attacks here in this book, but this last one in particular where I have left off, Lionel is there, and Lionel was trying to kill Caleb and Seth, and they have managed to escape. That's where we're left off, is Lionel trying to kill him, trying to kill the hares. I think I've got about 9 hours left of the book, so I'm gonna keep reading. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Can I get to the Christmas part of this book on Christmas? It would also probably ruin my day. I'll be crying over Darius. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. We'll be back with an update, or if I do come back, it might be like towards the end of the book, and we'll do the same thing as the last 2 vlogs where we go through the ending together and you see my reactions to the traumatizing events that always tend to happen. I'm alive. I'm here. It hasn't been a while for you guys, but I feel like it's been a while for me. I'm still on Heartless Sky, and I've got 4.5 hours left. We are near the end, and I just want to say this book is not my favorite at all. It is down on the list. I don't like it. I kind of feel like the authors are running out of things to say, so they're coming up with the most random and bizarre ideas and events. Now, I don't mean like the major event about destroying Lavinia and Lionel I still love. I'm talking about the little things in between happening within the friendship circle, like the weird spicy stuff they're coming out with. Compared to the last, probably book 6 was getting a lot more spicier, but this book, it's just like, what the heck has happened? I'm finding myself skipping a lot of scenes, which I don't do. I don't do that. And it's so repetitive, the spicy scenes, but then all of a sudden it jumps up like 20 notches and it's like, what is going on? And so nothing much has really happened since the last update. All I can say is Lance and Darcy are Elysian mates and I don't like it. I never thought I'd hear myself say those words, but I was happy with them not being Elysian mates, just being lovers for life. It's a rare thing that happens. Not everyone gets an Elysian mate, so I was like, you know what, they're just going to be regular people who love each other and get married. You know, I didn't want them to be Elysian mates. I didn't want both twins to have an Elysian mate. I was so happy with Darius and Tori, and then that was that. Just why do they both have to have it? I am 82% into the book. Nobody knows about Darius yet. I personally don't think he's going to die. There's just no way, because I feel like if he did die, it would have been spoiled for me by now with TikTok. So I just don't think he's going to die, but also nobody knows about him. So it's kind of like, what's going on? But obviously I feel like something's going to happen at the end of the book with him, and then I'm going to have to start the next one like straight away. Which brings me to, though, the next book is actually called, so the next book is called Sorrow and Starlight, and then there's an 8.5 novelty which is called Beyond the Veil, which is where these guys go when someone passes away. So I do feel like, and people say to tandem read these two together, so I feel like Darius will probably die, but he'll go like behind the veil, and that's why we have this novelty. I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be something like that, like he's going to be not there but there. I'm just not loving this book at all. I'm finding it so boring. It's just not hitting. It's not hitting. So this book isn't going to be a 5-star for me, but with the ending though, I know it's going to hit. It's going to be sad, shit's going to go down, and that's going to be the best part of the whole book. I just hope the next 2 are better. Okay, I am back. It is the same day from the last update, and as I said, shit's happening. Shit is happening. So pretty much in the last 2 hours, Darius has told, it kind of just came out that he doesn't have long left, and then Tori's like, why? And he told everyone that he's only got a few weeks left because he's dying and blah blah blah. Because of this, obviously Tori was angry, like, why wouldn't you be, honestly? But they went and got married. Out of all people, I should be happy for him, but why? Why did you go get married? Anyway, I thought that whole thing was pretty pointless, right? Because, I don't know, I just feel like it was like a... What was the point? Anyway, pretty much okay, so I don't even know how to explain what's going on, but the Hares, Cal pretty much got a text from his mum, and the Hares had gone to the old, I think it was the Palace of Souls they went to. They've gone to Darius's old room, and when they looked out the window, there's like this big sacrifice. Is that a word? Sacrification? No, I don't think so. There's this big sacrifice thing going on, and it's to the shadow. It's like a shadow realm portal, like for Lavinia. They ended up managing to close all the shadow portals in the world, so Lavinia has somehow worked out how to create this massive one, right? And she is sacrificing all the Hare's siblings and parents and God knows who else. So they overlook into the courtyard, and there's this like massive shadow realm portal thing, and then there's like a line of the siblings and the parents, and their wrists are, and they're just like, you know, like a ritual thing. They're literally dying, taking a potion to keep living, getting healed, repeat, in pain, dying, get healed again. While that's happening, right, Lavinia and Lionel done a surprise attack. They found out where the burrows were. They've done a surprise attack. So like the drama I can't talk, it's so late. The dragon guard are there fighting, the nymphs are fighting, Lavinia's fighting, and Lionel's fighting, and obviously surprise attack, so no one's prepared. So Xavier decides to go after Lionel, and it doesn't go great. He tries and stabs him in the heart, misses. Lionel chases him. Lavinia literally holds one of his wings in, holds his front legs together with shadows, and he falls to the ground, where Lionel then proceeds to break his ribs. Now flashback to, and also Tyler and Sophia are trying to get to Xavier, but there's a whole bunch of nymphs that Lavinia's purposely using to get in the way. So going back to the palace, the boys get a phone call of one of Darius's old atlases that in the drawer. It's so weird. And Darius is like, it feels important, let's answer it. And Caleb's like, it's Gabriel. Gabriel's on the phone, and this is what he says. The burrows are under attack and your father is here. Lavinia must have planned this because I couldn't see it coming until they were already here. His entire nymph army and his dragon guard are attacking. We're meeting them in the open field and the twins are leading charge. I think Lavinia lured you away from here to turn the odds in their favor. And then Seth said to trap us because Caleb got the text recently, but it looked like everyone was being sacrificed like for a while. So, and then Gabriel, this is the part, Gabriel says, fate is twisting too fast for me to keep track of it. But Darius, you need to return now or Xavier will die. His fate is set unless you can change it. He's gone up against your father, but I've seen his fate and he can't win. I'll leave you to decide on the rest, but Darius, you only have 6 minutes. So the boys stay to save their family. Darius obviously goes back to save Xavier. And he gets there and he sees Lionel land back on the ground on top of Xavier. He's like 4 foot, grabbed Xavier's side, and then Darius done a roar as a challenge to his father. But when he done that, Lionel whipped around, and as he did, Xavier screamed, and Lionel severed his wing, ripped his wing completely off, tossed it, and where it landed, or where he tossed it, is right next to the other wing that he severed off as well. He literally tore Xavier's wings off. What? So I'm up to the next chapter because, yeah, what? I just had to come up and be like, Xavier's wings literally got torn off. I honestly thought he was going to die. Tyler and Sophia were trying to save him from Lionel. I was like, you know what? I like those two, but they can die. They can die. I was full on expecting those two to die together, like double, just, oh. So I don't think Xavier's going to die now because Darius is back and Darius made it, and now he's challenged Lionel. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll find out. Alright, what do we got? 2 hours. Do I stay here and just read it, or do we go out in the lounge room? I feel I can react in here though better. Okay, let's just do it. It's so funny that out of everybody, like, Washa is really, really good at fighting nymphs. Like, the most creepiest person ever. It is like one of the best. Darcy's literally going to try to take on Lavinia by herself. Kind of by herself. Like, Orion is there, but pretty much by herself. So Darcy still has the curse from Lavinia, and Lavinia's literally like pulling this thing. Like, it's so creepy. Like, Lavinia's like, come out wherever you are, and she like pulls, and Darcy feels like this thing coming from like her stomach trying to get out of her body, and she's having flashbacks of herself killing these people that they kept showing up dead. She was murdering these people as this creature that's inside her that Lavinia put there. What? It was consuming and blinding, and it ate away my power, my order. Every time I killed, it grew a little stronger, and my magic was tugged from my grip more firmly. My order had fought back. I could feel the beast's rage at that, but now I stood before the Queen of Shadow, and she owned this monster inside me. This creature which had stolen away everything I was, and it wanted more, much more. She's called it a shadow beast. What? Lavinia has said it feeds on your power piece by piece by piece. You fought it well, but not well enough, and now it is sated, and you are nothing but a mortal bound to a beast, and that beast is mine. And then she twists her hand and she's like, come out and play, beastie. What? Darcy's fully transformed into the beast now, and she is hungry for Fae and hungry for rebels, and she is charging through the fights for rebels. And Lavinia said to Orion just then, like, hurry, you better stop her before she kills the rebels. And he's like, I will never hurt her. The next chapter is Tori. I don't think Tori would ever hurt Darcy. If Darcy's a beast, would Tori hurt her? I still don't think so. But I think she will try and burn the beast with her phoenix fire. There's so much happening. Like, okay, Tori seen Darcy as the beast. Well, she's seen the beast. She started attacking the beast. Orion tackled Tori and was like, no, that's Darcy. I'm going to take her far away. I'm going to try to save her. You need to win this battle. And she's like, okay, no pressure, sure. She looks up ahead, right? And she sees Alejandro. And guess who her next victim is, who she's going to kill? Alejandro. He shifted from his nymph form into his fae form. What an absolute dickhead. Because now she knows where he is, and he's going to be dead for killing her father. Dean is literally trying to help Orion get Darcy and like tame the beast. And she's like, I would not see her Elysian mate fall beneath her claws or watch her tear his head from his fine body. I love her. Oh, Darcy's seen Geraldine, and Geraldine's still running towards her. Okay, she's either going to kill, she's going to kill Geraldine. No. Because Darcy flung Orion and he broke his spine, so he's currently healing himself, and Geraldine's like, you are not going to hurt your man. Not what? No. Geraldine was healing Orion, and then Darcy put her sharp claws through her armor, digging into her shoulder, and threw her away. Oh my god, she's like, perhaps Mama was close, waiting for me to offer her hand and guide me into the stars. But I would not go quietly, I would fight until there was no more fight in my bones. Geraldine's gonna die, isn't she? Oh, Angelica's there. Mildred is fighting Angelica. So much is going on. Angelica did die. Mildred ripped her throat open. Angelica wasn't like a huge side character though. Like, she was there, but she wasn't there. But she was like, she was Geraldine's best friend. Oh, now we're back to the bloody palace. I hate this. They're going to try to draw the people from the portal, and Seth is mimicking, like he's done an illusion as Lionel, and he's going to pretend to be Lionel to draw everyone away. This is going to end badly. This is no. I feel like one of the hairs need to die. But who? I don't know. I just hope not Seth. We're back to Darcy, and she can see a silver Pegasus, and then beyond the silver Pegasus there's a pink Pegasus helping the rebels. And the pink Pegasus took flight, and Darcy grabbed her hoof and brought her to the ground. And guess who is silver and who is pink? And who are Pegasus? Tyler and Sophia. And it's like, I threw her to the ground and dove forward to finish the kill, but the silver Pegasus charged at me, driving a horn into my arm and making me roar as I back up. And then they turned and ran, and she's chasing him. You can't tell. Okay, if Tyler and Sophia die, so be it, right? So be it. But you can't tell me that Darcy's the one that's going to kill him. That would break her. Like, that would literally break her. Like, Sophia is her best friend. Like, oh my gosh. She just killed Geraldine. She literally ripped Geraldine to shreds. Out of everybody, I did not see Geraldine dying. Like, at all. Not ever. I thought she was going to be there till the end. Now she's chasing Orion again, because Orion got her attention after she killed her. And it's like the voice in my mind urged me to finish this one off and feast on his blood. And I was a slave to that command. No, she better not kill Orion. Gabriel's come down and told Tori to do a retreat because they're not going to win. Like, the war's going to end badly. So because of that, she's left Hamish and Catalina in charge to get everyone to safety. And she's going after Lionel or Lavinia, whoever she can find. And out of this whole freaking thing, we haven't gone back to Darius's chapter. Actually at Acrex Manor. I thought they were back at the manor, but I wasn't sure because I was like, why would they set up a shadow portal there? I just realised, because Max isn't there, he's not gonna know that Geraldine is dead, and he's currently, like, he's been cut and he's getting dragged into the rift, and he's like, I thought of Jerry, of all the people I loved, but she's dead. Oh my god. Vard and the nymphs have caught Seth, and he's beaten and bloody. Oh my god, now all three hairs are literally also being locked down and used for this shadow rift, and Cal didn't finish sewing it. I have no words. I haven't finished this chapter, but Darius was beating Lionel. He literally almost had Lionel. And then Lionel was like, you're doing all of this because of a Vega. And then Darius is like, I married that Vega, and when I finish killing you and bring your head to her, I'm going to bow to her. And it set Lionel angry, like angrier. And he managed to fight back. Roles reversed, and stabbed Darius in the chest. In the freaking chest. And he's like, no son of mine will ever bow to a fucking Vega. I offered you the world and you refused it, so now I'm taking back the privilege I offered you upon your conception. Return to the stars, Darius. Perhaps I'll be kinder to you in death than they were in life. And then it's literally like everything seemed to still within me as I stared at him. The pulse I should have felt thrumming through my veins, falling impossibly still as shock and an adamant kind of refusal stole through me. All I could do was stare at him in horror as I felt the blood spilling from that blow to my heart, staining my skin and sealing my fate once more. He shoved me away from him and I fell, my limbs not responding to my commands and doing nothing at all to stop me as I crashed back into the dirt and found myself staring up at the stars who had scorned me so fucking much in my too short life. Lionel spat at me before he left, and the only thing I could feel was the deep pool of blood spreading out all around me from the blade which remained lodged within my heart. I can't even cry because I am that freaking mad that Lionel killed Darius. There's just no way. Like, Darius should have been able to beat that motherfucker. Like, nah, he's not dead. No. Although if Tori like finds him, I will probably cry. So he literally sees her flying through the sky like towards him, and then the next chapter is Orion. I hate it when it does that. Darcy's left. She shifted back. She no longer had blue hair. Her hair was like black and it was like Lavinia's, like it was like shadows, and she's like, I gotta leave, Lance, I'm mortal, I can feel the beast coming back, I'm not gonna hurt you, goodbye. He couldn't see the Elysian mate rings in the eyes, like when they mate they get like these silver rings in the eyes, and he couldn't see them, so she's gone. And he's like, you know what, he sees Lavinia in the distance and yeah. Oh, I'm gonna cry now. Oh no. Oh my god. If it wasn't Tori, this was the other thing that was gonna make me cry. So it's like, before I made it to the shadow bitch who I hated more than any other creature on this earth, my gaze fell on a body laying at the top of a hill beyond the raging battle. And there's no. Oh, this is gonna make me cry. Darius is actually dead. Like, he was meant to die at the end of this book anyway, but like, he's died the way that he was meant to die. And it's just like, I forced myself to let him go, laying him back down in the mud. I'm getting more teary as I read this. And it's like, I'll come back, I promised. I'll give you a proper burial, I swear. Seriously, somebody kill Lavinia. The only way Orion can save Darcy is by giving himself up to Lavinia, because Lavinia used Orion's blood for the curse. He is the answer. And the way that it is he can offer her in the price of flesh, blood or bone. You will become willingly mine. Your body will be my playhouse to do whatever I wish with. I may cut it, whip it, burn it and fuck it if the notion takes me. And you will allow me to do willingly. No complaints and no fighting back. Or he can die. Or she can crack his bones one by one and probably die. And he's like, if I offer you my body, how long do you want it for? And she said 3 moon cycles. How long is a moon cycle? I have no fucking idea, but it sounds like a long time. It sounds like a decent time. And she said, when I send you back to your vegan mate, her heart will shatter piece by piece when she learns of what you have given me. And he's like, you've underestimated us, we can survive anything. And she's like, we'll see about that. Do we have a deal? You have to make a death bond on this. I need your word to be a binding beyond a shadow of a doubt. So the next book is literally going to be Lance bonded to this shadow person while Darcy is cursed as a beast. What is going on? It's like And I shall release you, Lancerone, from my captivity, and if I do not uphold my side of the deal, I shall die. And then Lindsay's like, can you even die? And she's like, all beings can die. She has literally put a shadow collar around Orion's neck. And she's like, there we are, all mine. Let's go home, pet. I cannot wait to start breaking you in every way a man can be broken. A collar on a leash. What is happening in this book? Like, what is going on? Why is it got to be so weird? Why is Lavinia so freaking strange? Like, oh, we have a POV from Catalina. I've never had one from Catalina. Wow, okay. Oh yeah, because Catalina and Hamish are helping the rebels escape. So they're fighting off the nibs. Lionel just chased the 4 people, like Xavier, Geraldine, Sophia and Tyler, and they've made it to Hamish and Catalina, and they're like, get on, like escape with us. And then Catalina said to Hamish, we have to hold him off. And then Zaya's like, Mum, and she's like, I have loved you unconditionally from the moment I first found out I was having you. You are my starlight boy, my light in the dark, and I am so endlessly proud of the man you've become, my love. And he's like, why are you saying that? And she's like, we can't all escape him. I never thought I would get teary over Catalina. Like, and then she's like, tell Darius that I love him. I think it just sucks because she couldn't show them her true love for him, and now she can show him, and she's obviously choosing to protect, like as you would. Oh my god, I did not see that. I didn't. And then she says to Sophia, make sure you love him the way he deserves to be loved. Oh my god. I just want to blow my eyes out. Glory. What? That's chapter 60. What? That is literally chapter 68. She was literally like him. They had to face Lionel. And she's like, I won't risk him capturing me alive. And then Amy's just like, I won't allow that either. And she's like, together, and it's like, always we are bound. That's why I'm you and I. And then Lionel's like, I can't wait to torture you for as long as you've been away from me, or something like that. And she's like, you will never have anything again from me, Lionel, and you will never be true king. And then Hamish is like, into the evermore we go, my love. And she's like, don't let go of my hand. And the last thing I felt before I swiped my blade across my own throat was the tightness of his grip on mine. And as he plunged his own blade into his heart, we both fell to the ground together. We held tight to that promise and slipped into the embrace of the stars as one. What? What? I can't. I don't like this. I do not like this. Okay, so many people are dying in this one. I don't actually think Geraldine's dead. I think she's actually still kind of alive. Oh my god. Okay, so now we're up to Tori. Tori is still trying to get Alejandro with, was it Justin? I think Justin. Okay, so Alejandro is dead. And now the next pog is Gabriel. We never get one from Gabriel. So this is only bad news. This is literally just bad news. Gabriel is trying to see the fates of, I'm guessing, well, Darcy and Orion. And I'm going to say Tori. Would he check Darius? I'm not sure. But, Gabriel's going to die, isn't he? So he's in the vision with Tori and seeing that Tori was sobbing over Darius's body, and Lionel, because Catalina and Hamish killed themselves, Lionel has found Tori over Darius and binds her arms and stabs her in the back and kills her. So guess who's hurrying out of the burrows going after Tori now? And you know what? There's like 10 minutes left of this book and I bet you Gabriel dies. Or we won't know he dies like until the very end, and he doesn't. Kind of like the end of Shadow Princess with Orion. Oh, okay. Oh no, plot twist. He hadn't seen anyone, but he could see that there were going to be no more survivors coming into the burrows, so he closed the last like tunnel, right? And he's like, I follow the guidance of the stars, knowing my actions would save Tori, but unable to see why. He closed it, and guess who's inside? Lionel's inside, and he's like the dead queen's bastard son, and it looks like it's all out of magic. And then Gabriel was like, the stars offered me a vision of my fate, a fate which would save Tori from death, and I shook my head at them and the devious ways because I was the sacrificial lamb. I said sacrificial, but still, like, he's gonna die. Still the same outcome, he's gonna die. Oh, Lionel, I'm in need of a new seer. Is Gabriel gonna die, or is he gonna become a seer? The last chapter, she's going to find Darius. Oh, she's wondering where everyone is. She's trying to find everybody, and I bet you she's gonna end up finding Darius at the freaking very end. So she's pulled out the sunsteel blade from Darius's chest, and she's cut her own palm, gripping it tightly, and she can feel the ancient magic literally like shot her blood up into the stars to tell them to go fuck themselves, pretty much. Okay, so we have finished Heartless Sky, and I want to throw it off a cliff because like there's no one who's alive, like literally who is currently not taken or free. Like Tori is the only one. Like, Darcy is gone and she's a beast. Lavinia has Orion. Lionel has Gabriel. Catalina and Hamish are dead. Geraldine is probably dead. We still don't really know. Xavier has no wings and he's also can't heal. And then there's Sophia and Tyler who are all good. But like, oh, and their hairs are chained and getting sacrificed to the Shadow Rift. So, everyone's split up. Like, who's gonna save the day? Tori? Tori can't save the day. What, Tori, Tyler, and Sophia? Anyway, 4 stars. I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. Originally, if that wasn't the ending, I don't know what I expect for the ending. The ending, I feel like, always make or break these books, and majority of the time they do make them. Just they're just torture though. But without it, honestly, the book was heading on like a 3-star. But the ending definitely bumped it up 4 stars. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can get part 4, the last part, final part 4 up and running in hopefully a few weeks, because the next 2 books are like 1,000 pages long. So I'll see you guys there. Love you. Thanks for watching, and if you've made it to the end, extra love to you.